Bobby Dirkens here. Well, this week, I really don't know what to talk about because our Clemson Tigers were finally off. I mean, we know that last week they blew a game just because they just couldn't put their minds on beating the horrible Syracuse Orangemen. They ended up losing the game. That's not the only reason, but hey, if it's like a placebo to me, I'll take it, knock it back with the water, and digest that lie to myself just so fine. But I will talk about other teams. So, yesterday, Alabama played Tennessee. Now, I don't know what's going on at Knoxville. Only thing I know is that ye old steakhouse up there has some of the finest steaks one man will ever eat. Up there on Chapman Highway. Hey, if any of you up there at ye old steakhouse hears about this, you old Bobby a steak. Bring me and the family up there and we'll get us all we can eat. I mean, within reason. Knoxville, Tennessee. Last time I seen something this bad is when I saw my aunt. She was going through some hard times and she decided to take up stripping. She went broke. And that's what's happening up there in Tennessee. I already heard that they lost a 4-star receiver who had already committed to them last year in November. He said it was time for him to step back and take a deeper look at things, but it didn't necessarily mean they were out of the running. Yeah. That's great. I bet not. And then when you just step back and look at it and think that they were down, 28 or 35 to nothing, and one of their guys picked off the ball, ran it back 97 yards for a touchdown, and then one of his fellow teammates took 4 of his fingers, brought them down to a fist, and left one middle finger hanging. And unless he got some type of carpal tunnel at a very, very bad moment in time and just happened to throw his arms up towards the crowd, I think that they've pretty much lost control of everything that's going on up there. So what happens when you lose? You lose everything. Then the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I did not expect that. I thought they may win. I mean, because Southern Cal is another one of these teams that everybody's just dying for them to be back. They got to be back. They have to be back. Why? I mean, what is their babies dying if they ain't back? Well, they ain't back. They're not horrible, but they ain't back. Went up there to South Bend, and I think the touchdown Jesus actually come down off the library there, stepped on over the side of the stadium, and thumped him in the head. Absolutely horrible. And I'm just telling you, if you're a Clemson fan, like I am, you get kind of worried when you see that Notre Dame's only loss is to number 3 Georgia, and our loss is to Syracuse. Only thing we got playing on our side is that the media is dying to see Alabama, Clemson, number 3. And that does work, my friend. It does, as long as we win out. But that should scare you if you're a Clemson fan. Anyway, talk about a few more games. We found out that a beaver can bite a wolverine and it will eventually kill them. Penn State beat Michigan, and not only beat them, it was like if a redneck man found his trailer trash trophy wife making out with his brother and he slapped her in the mouth at church. That's what happened last night. Oh, good Lord. I thought that Penn State would win the game, but just like Notre Dame with Southern Cal, I didn't see that coming. They basically took them down there to Happy Valley. They might have well called it the Valley of the Shadow of Death, because that's exactly what they did. They put them to death right there in front of everything. And only thing that Harbaugh could do was look through those trendy black rim glasses and stare off in the distance. Whew. What else went on yesterday? Let me use my trusty computer. Need a new computer. Anybody want to go on Patreon and help old Bobby here get a new computer? Don't stop yourself. Miami. Whew. Probably beside Wisconsin, who still hasn't and will not play anybody until they get to Wisconsin's going to get to their conference championship. Go ahead, take it down to the bank, put it on a deposit slip. Deposit that check twice. They're going to make it to their conference championship. And then they're absolutely going to get the red ripped off their helmet. You know why? Because Wisconsin hasn't and will not play anybody their entire season. Nobody at all. Nobody. Don't one of you even stop and be stupid enough to say, well, I play Iowa. I could play Iowa and beat Iowa. So, they're the most overrated team in the top 25. Wisconsin. Yeah, I said it. And the next one in the top 15, Miami Hurricanes. Number 8. These guys right here have had more miracles than the New Testament. I mean, it just keeps happening. Or throw the pass up, bounces off a baby in the stands, and run into his hands for a 1 toe in the end zone touchdown. And they win again. Well, yesterday they played Syracuse, and might I say Syracuse played a mighty fine game. Although I will tell you, for being a Clemson fan, and them putting Kelly Bryant out there with one crutch on one side and then a half shoe on the other, it's probably going to cost you a quarterback. Dungy did a great job, but I'm telling you, just take it from me. This ain't hate. Don't make this personal. Grow some hair on your chest. Even if you're a woman, it's getting cold. It'll help you stay warm. That right there, he keeps trying to jump over people. Well, that's just part of his game. When he's in a wheelchair, that'll be a new part of his game. But Miami, I don't know. Miami, don't be surprised if someday very soon, somebody don't come along to Miami out of nowhere and pull their bloomers, slap up over their butt, onto the front of their forehead, slap them in the head and go, find your way, buddy, because it's coming. Oklahoma had to have a miracle to beat Kansas State. I love Grandpa Bill Snyder. Who doesn't? He's 116 years old. He's won and left, and then come back and won. I know they're 3-4, but I'm just telling you, I like Bill Snyder. But that Oklahoma had to have a miracle to beat them. Not a good sign from the Okies. Oklahoma State took someone just misreading and throwing a pass, getting picked off in overtime for Oklahoma State to beat Texas. Not impressed. Like Tom Herman. Oh, what else? That's boring. South Florida's number 16 beating Tulane 34-28. Not bad. Maybe number 25. Number 16. What are we doing now? Are we starting to give people places on the poll just to make them feel good about themselves? I'm beginning to buy it. Auburn trashed Arkansas. West Virginia barely beat a horrible Baylor football team. And LSU won. What is old Dirkens trying to say? Well, Clemson plays this weekend against Georgia Tech. And if anybody that's watching this video does not live even remotely near Clemson, South Carolina, I just want to kind of fill you in. First of all, we love our coaches. And we love our team. And we know, or at least I do, we're not going to win every game. We're not going to win the national championship. Every year. I mean, my goodness, as great as Nick Saban's been down there at Bama, you got to think he's been there, 10 years? He's won 3 national championships. That means he didn't get in it or didn't win it 7 years. Yeah, But that's still amazing what he's done. I know it makes me vomit a little bit in my mouth and makes me want to go, I don't know, question what I believe. But at the end of the day, that's still incredible. But it's when you sit back and you think that Tavian Feaster and Travis Etienne was pinching off 9-10 yards per carry, and all of a sudden, they only run them 12 times. It's like, did somebody roofie some of our coaches? But anyway, we love them. I'm just hoping when they go down to Atlanta, Georgia and play Paul Johnson and his 1946 option, I'm just hoping they don't do what they did this past week. Going up there in front of 150, maybe 200 fans at Syracuse. By the way, I had someone comment to me, there was 40,000 people there. Pardon me, I'm not good with numbers, but I will say we're used to about 80, 81,000. If you sneak in 85,000 down at Death Valley, pardon me, that's half our crowd. But if they play anything like they played against Syracuse, against Georgia Tech, loss number 2, when we can kiss anything of seeing the New Year's Day Bowl, bye-bye. NC State's firing on all cylinders. So I don't know if somebody's husband made out with somebody else's wife or somebody's whatever. All I'm saying is we need to figure out what's going on and just fix it. I'm going to say that again because that felt powerful. We just need to step back, look at the problem, and ask ourselves, do we have 4- and 5-star recruits left and right? Do we have the talent to beat everybody on our schedule, whether we did or not? Then why don't we just do it? There we go. You're welcome. Let me tell you a few ways to do it. Give the ball more to Feaster and to Etienne. When they start to suck up into that box, don't abandon the run. Still run it, and then once they suck in a little more, hit the ball over the top. Hit it down the sidelines, and then give somebody an underneath man. And last time I checked, these boys can catch out of the backfield. Either way, they're not going to win the game. We win the game. Well, listen, I know I've rambled, and probably half of you ain't watched this entire video. And if you had, you're good people. And if you hadn't, anyway, you'll never know what I said about you. Well, this is Bobby Dirkens saying, this video went much longer than what I anticipated, but that's just me. I believe our Tigers going to win this ball game this week. I believe they're going to bring it. I believe they're going down to Atlanta, Georgia, and they're not going to stop over at the varsity and get them one of those greasy hot dogs. Ends up giving them the dysentery, and some of you don't know what that is. That's diarrhea. And they get over there and they crap themselves, and they can't play. Lord, no. They're staying away from the varsity, and they're going right across the street, and they're going to beat the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. And they're going to drive 90, 100 miles back up the road to Clemson, South Carolina, and they're getting ready for the Wolfpack from NC State. And if they don't, you'll just go ahead and commit me. This is Bobby Dirkens saying I hope you have a good week, and I hope you enjoyed what I said, because if you don't, I think you're probably pretty stupid. Bobby Dirkens.